Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm so excited you're here. This is the fourth part of our fascinating story, Samuel Harrison. If you haven't seen the previous parts yet, don't worry. You can catch up by clicking on the I button right up here. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Chapter 16. Bread. I have my first corn at the end of December. It isn't a lot of corn. I don't want to eat the corn. I decide to keep all the seeds. My goal is to put the seeds in the ground and have more corn later. I need some pots for the seeds. I look for clay on the island. I find some clay and I try to make a pot. I have no success at the beginning, but I try again and again. It is long work, but after 2 months of experiments, I make 2 pots. I put the pots in baskets. I put dry grass between the baskets and the pots. The dry grass in the baskets protect the pots very well. I continue to make small pots. Their quality is better and better. I also make long, but not very high pots. I put seawater in them. When the water is gone, I have salt. One day I find a broken piece of a pot in the fire. The fire makes the piece very hard. It is like a stone. The piece is very red too. I have an idea. I take one pot and I make a fire around the pot. The pot is very hard after 2 hours. I am happy with the result. I also need a tool with which I can make flour. I take a big piece of hard wood. I make a hole in the wood. I put the seeds in the hole. Then I take another piece of hard wood. I break the seeds in the hole with this second wood. The flour stays on the bottom of the hole. Now I want to bake bread. I have an idea. I mix the flour with water. Then I take 2 stones. I put the stones near the fire. When the stones are very hot, I put the bread between them. Now I have my first bread on the island. The bread is not perfect, but I like the bread a lot. It is my first bread after a long time. It is during my 3rd year on the island. I think about traveling around the island by sea. I think that it is possible to make a canoe. I want to make a canoe from a big tree. I find one big tree. I cut the tree. I start to make a hole in it. But after some days, I start to think about something. I start to think how to get the canoe from the forest to the beach. I think about it because I am quite far from the beach. I see that it is a problem. I see a small hill between the forest and the beach. It is not possible to move the canoe over the hill. The canoe is very heavy for it. I am really angry. I have to leave the canoe in the forest. Many days of work are lost. I don't believe that I can make such a mistake. I have to plan my work better next time. Chapter 17. Canoe. After 3 years on the island, my clothes are already very old. I start to use the skins of the animals. I make a cap and other clothes from the skins. I also need an umbrella. I try to make an umbrella from the skins too. It is difficult at the beginning. It takes some time, but I am successful in the end. After 3 years, I am quite happy. I have everything what I need for my life. My life on the island continues for the next 5 years. During this time, I decide to make another canoe. The canoe is smaller. It isn't difficult to move it to the beach. The canoe is finished in June. I want to travel around the island in the canoe. I put food, water, and guns in the canoe. I am ready for the trip. The beginning of my trip isn't easy for me. I am in danger when my journey starts. I have to go around some rocks in the sea. When I want to go back to the land, I feel a strong current under the canoe. The current is taking me away from the island. The situation is horrible. I am scared. I can't survive in the open sea. I don't have enough food and water for a long journey. I fight very hard against the current for 2 hours. Then I am able to get close to my island. I can continue my trip around the island. Now I know that I am stronger than the currents around the island. I feel good. I feel strong. Soon I find a small river. I go up the river, but I get nowhere because soon the river is very narrow. Stones block the way. I can't continue. I leave the canoe where it is. I want to explore this part of the island. I'm not far from the part of the island which I know. Soon I find the way to my house in the valley. I'm very tired from the trip. Soon I sleep. Then I hear a voice. I wake up. The voice is saying my name, Robinson. Where are you? Robinson. Where are you? First I am scared, but then I see my parrot Pole. He sits on top of the fence. He knows these words from me, and he is saying these words with the same intonation as me. I am surprised when I see him here. I think, why isn't he at home? But I am happy when I see him. I don't go back to the canoe. I return home with the parrot. I don't make such a trip for a year. I stay in my house most of the time. I make more tools and pots. I can also make very nice baskets now. Chapter 18. Foot. It is 11 years after my first day on the island. One day I see that I don't have much gunpowder. It starts to worry me. I need gunpowder if I want to hunt animals. My first goat is very old. I want meat, but I don't have the heart to kill her. One day she dies a natural death. With less and less gunpowder, I have to find another way how to get meat. I decide to make a trap. I am not successful at the beginning, but then I catch 3 young goats. They are 1 male and 2 females. I take them home with me. I keep the goats inside a small area. I make a fence around the area, but the area is too small for 3 goats, so I make a fence for them around a bigger area. It takes me 3 months to build this fence, but the area is very nice. There is a lot of grass and water for them. After some time, the young goats are very calm. Soon they eat from my hand. In 2 years, I have 12 goats inside my fence, and in 3 years, I have more than 20 goats. I have a lot of milk and meat thanks to this. I experiment a little, and after some time I am able to make cheese and butter. My table is full now, and I have a lot of animals around me. I have my old dog, goats, and my parrot. The only thing which I still miss is somebody for a conversation. One day I go to the part of the sea where the strong current is. On the way there, I think about how strange I look. I have a big hat, a short jacket, and short trousers. They are all made from animal skin. I don't have socks or shoes, but I put some goat skins around my feet. I have 2 belts. 1 belt is for the gun and knife, and 1 belt for the gunpowder. I also carry a basket on my back and an umbrella above my head. My beard is very long. I see that after 11 years on the island, I don't look like an Englishman. I am a different person. One day, I am walking on the beach. I am going to check my canoe. Then I see something surprising. I see a mark of a human foot on the sand. I look around, but I see nobody. I'm scared. I run back to my house. I'm so scared that it is difficult to sleep at night. Then I think, maybe it is all only my imagination. Or maybe it is the mark of my own foot, and it is stupid to be scared. After this thought, I feel better. I leave my house, and I go look at the mark again. Chapter 19. Cannibals. When I come to the mark of the foot, I see that the mark is much bigger than my foot. It's impossible that it's my foot. I'm scared again. I start to panic. I want to destroy my cornfields. I want to destroy my valley house. I need to hide my activity on the island. I'm so afraid that I can't sleep the whole night. Finally, I sleep a little in the morning. My head is clear when I wake up. Now, It isn't so strange that people live on the islands around. I think maybe this is their first visit here. Maybe this island is not interesting for them. Maybe it's also their last visit here. I feel better after these thoughts, but I want to do something for my protection if the people come again. During the following month, I make another fence around my house. I make holes in the fence. Through these holes, I can easily shoot from guns if I'm attacked. Now I have a house, which is very well protected. Nobody can come easily near me. I also worry about my goats. I divide the goats in two groups. I build a smaller fence in another part of the island. I put one group of the goats there. It takes me a lot of time, but my animals are safe. After 16 years on the island, something very sad happens. My dog dies. I cry for 3 days. It's my worst day on the island. Fortunately, I have my goats. I go to them and I tell them how sad I am. They don't understand my words, but I feel that they understand me. They feel my emotions. They are unusually calm and quiet. It's now 2 years after the foot in the sand on the beach. One day when I'm walking on the beach, I think that I see a canoe far in the sea. I'm not sure, so I continue to walk. Then I see a thing which shocks me. The beach is full of parts of human bodies. Heads, hands, feet, fingers, and teeth are everywhere. There is a black place after a fire. I'm angry, but also scared. I can't look at this horrible scene for a long time. I have a horrible feeling in my stomach. I go back home and I think about what to do. Now, I can't go out to sea with my canoe. I have no chance against a group of cannibals in the open sea. I also can't use guns because the sound of a gun is very loud. But I always have guns with me for protection. I think that maybe in the future I can kill some cannibals, and I can save their prisoners. I look for a place near the beach where I can hide and prepare for the attack. Then I change my opinion. I think that it's not good to fight the cannibals. I don't know these people. They don't attack me. Maybe it isn't good to attack them. Finally, I stop the preparations for the attack. I decide to attack them only if they attack me first. Chapter 20. Cave. I'm hiding my activity on the island. I'm very careful. I try not to be loud. I'm worried when I make a fire, but I need fire because I need to cook. So when I make a fire, I try to make only little smoke. Smoke can go very high. People can see smoke from a big distance. One day I discover a small cave in the forest. The cave is near the beach. I go inside. When my eyes are okay with the dark, I see two eyes. The eyes are looking at me. I jump outside. I'm scared to death. I wait, but nothing happens. I go slowly to the beginning of the cave, and I listen. I hear something. It hears some animal. I think that the animal is injured. I take my gun, and I go in the cave slowly. When my eyes can see again, I see an old goat. The goat is dying in the cave. I return to the cave the next day. I see that the goat is dead. I look around the place. I see that the place is very safe. It's a good place near the beach where I can hide. So I bring some guns and some gunpowder there. It's 23 years after my first moment on this island. I live comfortably now. I have many animals around me. Pole is repeating my name and some other words very nicely. I have 2 other parrots. I teach them how to say my name. I have more than 30 goats. One day, I'm walking to my fields in the morning when I see fire on the beach. I quickly return to my house. I prepare all my guns. I take my telescope. I go close to the beach. I hide behind a tree. I watch what is happening on the beach. I see 9 naked people. They have 2 canoes. And they are leaving. When they leave, I go to the beach. The beach is full of blood and bones again. I'm angry again. I decide to kill them if I see them again. But they don't return for a long time. One day in the evening, after a big storm, something strange happens. I hear the sound of a gun at sea. I go to the beach. I see a light. The light is coming from the sea, but it's very far. Then I hear the gun again. I know that some ship is near my island. The ship is in danger. The ship is asking for help, but it's very dark. I don't see the whole ship. I take a lot of dry wood. I make a big fire on the beach. The men on the ship probably see the fire because they shoot again. I think I can speak to somebody tonight. This is great. I keep the fire until midnight, but nobody comes to my beach. It's very strange. I don't understand it. I think, where are the men from the ship? Thank you for watching. Stay tuned as we reveal the next chapters of this incredible journey.